My goodness gracious, y'all. You are listening to the WellRED podcast, and it is a monumental occasion because this is the first podcast where me and the boys were all back together. It was fun. It was great to have that energy back. It was great to see him. It was great to do stand-up. It was great to... I tell you what wasn't so great is how we felt the next day because we got sloshed. So if you missed the podcast that were after the shows or between shows, where we were all hyped up on telling jokes and hammered drunk and being stupid, silly gooses, well, you're in luck because that is this podcast. We're back to form, buddy. We were in Birmingham, Alabama after doing shows at the Stardome Comedy Club. And, hey, speaking of doing shows, go to wellredcomedy.com, WELLRED comedy.com, and grab tickets to see us because we're back on the road now. August 19th through the 21st, we're going to be at Comedy Works in Denver, one of the best clubs in the country. But this podcast was recorded in Birmingham, Alabama. We had some drop-ins. We had the podfather himself, Conrad Thompson. We had comedian Wes Van Horn. We had DJ Lewis, and as always, me, Trey, and Drew were on there. So it was a wild time. I don't know what to tell you. This is part one of part two. I hope you enjoy it. And, it's, we were drunk. Skew!
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Oh, my God. And you're listening to What Happened When...
I came to Birmingham and missed a whole fucking show.
There we go. Man, appreciate y'all tuning in. We are in Birmingham. We just did a capacity crowd. That's what you say. Capacity crowd at the Stardome. We're back on the road. This is the first podcast that we're doing back together the way that the podcast was supposed to be. We're not on Zoom. We're all together.
Feels weird.
It does feel weird.
Yeah, but here we are alongside the man himself, Conrad Thompson. He's here. He's with us.
Conrad, most popular episode that we've ever done, most downloaded episode that we've ever done at least, was with Conrad Thompson. It was episode, I want to say 58. It was entitled Conrad Thompson and Mr. Butt. I believe it was a dual part. It was a dual. It was
co-headlining Conrad with Mr.
See,
Butt, baby.
We thought it was because you, Conrad, but now I know why we got them
It's
downloads.
Mr. Butt. That's a hell of a name. Hell of a gimmick.
Of course. How are you, Conrad?
Man, great to be here. I'm excited that you guys are back in Alabama.
Are you kind of pissed off that in your downtime you're having to do your 15th podcast this week?
No, I'm
no
sure. I'm sure my wife thinks it's a rib, but
Yeah.
I'm having fun. So no, y'all, thanks for having me.
Well, as the promoter that you are and the promoter that I also am, tell everybody where they can find you and what you got going on.
Adfreeshows.com is where you can find 7 old wrestling podcasts. Can you believe that? Who the fuck would sign up for that? But apparently a lot of
people
do. So, yeah, if you like old wrestling, I'm probably your speed. Or if you need to save money, saveaconrad.com. That's me.
That's right. This motherfucker, you're the absolute busiest dude I know that still responds to my text for some reason.
I'll always respond to your text. Drew's not so much, but yours all the time. All the time.
It's funny, like you gave me your number.
Hey, I did retweet your shit, though. I'm just saying. Come on.
Yeah, well, the last time that we hung out, I believe it was at the Conradison, and that's one of those, I was just saying with this episode, we're probably going to have some heavy edits because we're going to have some run-ins. We're in the hotel here in Birmingham, Alabama, and I think that podcast that we did was the one that I had to most heavily edit just because we got into the bottle pretty good. We started telling old wrestling stories. We got a little bit loose. We
was talking about people jacking dogs off and stuff, or was that another time?
That was Wade Cardwell. I think that was Casio Kids episode.
That was. You're right. That was a whole different podcast. Either way.
And for the record, I mean, this is episodic. We can always talk about Wade jacking dogs off. Like, I know that we always
plays.
We always go, oh, have we already told that story about Wade jacking dogs off? And it's like, yeah, we have, but like we may have new listeners, so like that's totally fine. You know,
but Wade is a crazy comedian that y'all know in Tennessee,
yeah.
And I only know him through y'all.
You only know him as dude who jacks dogs off, for the record.
And so recently,
have you met him in person since
never
all
in
that?
my life
Okay, all
have
right.
I met him, which made it really odd when my wife made me, because y'all know how that sentence starts. My wife made me change my profile picture on Facebook, so it was a joint picture.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first comments is from him, bet this fella's got a big dick. I've never met this person in real life.
It was your wedding photo.
My mama's on Facebook. I got to delete this.
What do
so
you think
Wade.
about meeting Wade in person? You been down to party with Wade after everything you know about him?
I'm in.
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably going to be paperwork involved when we're done, but yeah, I'm in.
Wade, so Wade is very legendary amongst my friend circle, but so my buddy Robbie, who we talk about on the podcast every now and then, my buddy Robbie hollered at me the other day, and he goes, "Hey man, I got a Wade story for you whenever you get a chance." And I was busy, but if you drop that, I'll literally can't. I could be sitting there in a production meeting with ABC and go, "Hey guys, somebody's got a Wade story. I got to get the fuck out of here. I don't know what to tell you." And he calls me and he goes, "So my mom and dad or my mom and my stepdad are trying to sell this van, and they put it on the Facebook Marketplace because that's what you do in North Georgia." And he goes, "They got a bite." So my Terry goes down and he's going to meet this guy in a public location, because if you're selling anything on Facebook Marketplace, you want to meet in a public location. So he goes to Hardee's and he says that he sees this guy who he's like, I mean, I don't want to say that he looks haggard, but he looks a little bit, haggard. He looks a little bit haggard. And I'm sitting there and I told him, how much the van was that I'm selling. And he goes, "Well, will you take this much in cash?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, I got shit, cash, that's a good deal." So obviously, you know where I'm going with this. It was fucking Wade Cardwell, but they don't know that I know this guy. So they tell him, they're like, "Yeah, if you're going to pay cash, you can come to the house." Wade goes to my buddy Robbie's mom's house, who is the piano player at the church, the most, just church-going innocent lady ever. And she invites this sweaty man who is drinking a 64-ounce, what she later found out was just completely full of vodka. Roll Tide. And he's sitting there talking to him, and she's like, "Hey, we're going to make a deal on this van." And he goes, "Oh, they were in Rock Springs." He goes, "We're close to Chickamauga, right? Do you know Corey Forster?" And she's like, "Oh my God, I almost raised Corey Forster." And then Wade takes that as the lead-in to explain to her the size of every man's dick that he knows that she went to. She goes, "You went to Shiloh Baptist Church? I'm going to redact the name." He goes, "That motherfucker's got an 8-inch hog." And she's sitting there like, do you want the van or like what? And he's sitting there. He goes, oh yeah. He was with Tammy, and he cheated on her all the time, but they ended up getting back together." And she goes, "Well, yeah, she's a Christian lady, so of course she forgave him." And he goes, "Forgave him? Hell, you ain't going to find a dick that big in North Georgia." And so anyways, Wade has always been one of those type of people that you can't help but love, because as shitty as he is, he's one of them dudes that you get the same way
every time.
Every time. So like you go, at least there's nothing fake.
Yeah,
Well,
consistent.
So
Very
on
consistent.
that note, so we used to, early on in the tour, we used to do this thing where at the end we would all three come out together and do a Q&A thing.
Yeah.
But at one point we had to stop doing that because like it kept getting too sad, because people would be like,
Our fans are sad.
people would be like, what do you guys think about healthcare in this country? Because my mother has no insurance and is dying from diabetes, and we need to fix that. And of course, everybody in there is just crying, and we're like, we're trying to end this comedy show.
Yes.
And
how are we supposed to?
And
joke
we feel
about
for
that?
you for
Right,
sure,
yeah,
but
of
like
course,
we
right.
can't solve anything.
Of course, it's like
It's hard to turn that into a joke.
Yeah,
of course.
It's almost and that kept happening.
Should have been born in Sweden, you dumb bitch.
That,
Like
that kept happening, so we had to stop doing that. But we were in Spokane, Washington, which I'm going to take a quick detour here.
Oh, please.
We were in Spokane, Washington.
Which we will be back soon.
Yeah.
Check wellredcomedy.com, WELLRED comedy.com.
Now, I don't know if
Nailed
I
it.
should tell this whole story. We were in Spokane.
Yes, you
and
should.
the show was, you think so?
Of course.
All right, so we're...
What, it
You
didn't
think it's
happen?
gonna- you think it's going to get
it's
around
fine.
to him?
Well, I mean, it's the same club, ain't it?
Who gives a fuck?
All right, anyway, we're in
Well,
Spokane.
hey, you can't start it and take it back. Don't be an Indian.
We'll
It's
either
Spoke-
sell tickets or we won't.
I'm going to get back to the main story in a minute, but we were in Spokane, and we got there, and the server came back there and was talking to us, and was like clarifying. He's like, so you guys are WellRED comedy? You guys like liberal rednecks, whatever? We're like, yeah. And he was like piecing it all together, and he goes, yeah, our owner, the owner of the club, he was like, because we had asked where's he at. What's
For the
going
record,
on?
we'd met him briefly because
When we
he
got
showed us
there.
where to park.
When we
and
got
then
there, we
fucked
met him, and
smooth
he was
off.
like, "Yeah, where you going?" And he goes, "Oh, he left." And we're like, "Okay, does he normally do that or whatever?" He's like, "No, he left because he found out that you guys are liberals, and he's not really into that." And then he goes, and we're like, "Well, yeah, that's kind of our whole thing." And he was like, "Yeah, he didn't know that. He thought." He saw WellRED, and he was under the impression that you guys were Native Americans. Like WellRED, R-E-D, like well-red skin, I guess, is what he
that's
thought
what he
it was.
thought a Native
He was
American
like-
would name their tour.
He was like, he thought you guys were natives, and that was your whole thing. When he found out the deal, he had to bounce. And we were like, all right. So we went up there and did the show, talking about wampum and stuff,
Yeah.
But
Gave away blankets instead of T-shirts.
yeah, but we went up there and did the show, and that's all fine. But we went up there and did the show.
It was fine.
And show went fine, and we were still doing the Q&A at the end. And during the Q&A, this lady raised her hand. We called on her, and she was like, "Hey, we know one of the same people. There's a guy, I believe you guys know him. His name's Wade Cardwell." And we
Spokane, Washington.
and we were like, Spokane, Washington, dude, as far away from fucking Chickamauga, Georgia as you could get. And we were just like, "Oh shit, you know Wade? Oh damn, Wade, whatever." And I swear to God, she goes, "Yeah, I know Wade. He sexually harassed me every day for 7 straight weeks when I was in Georgia working on this fucking or whatever."
That
It
checks
was-
out.
Like it was like y'all remember that, right?
Of course
It
I
was
do.
like it was something like that.
Dude.
Wade had very much offended this woman.
Yes.
every day for weeks.
Well,
We're like,
he
yeah,
like
it's
raped
class-
Corey's dog. Like,
Yeah, right.
And but here's the thing, I brought that up to Wade, and I mentioned her by name, which I will not do right now out of respect for her and the fact that I don't remember her name. And I was like, "Hey, Wade, we were in Spokane, and we met somebody that knows you," and he was just like, "I get around, you know, what are you going to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know that you don't really know how you come across to some people, because that's the thing. Like, again, by the way, anyone sexually harasses somebody, that is bad. That is bad, and we're not trying to celebrate that. I will say that Wade just kind of behaves in a way that is sexually harassing to the world.
Yes.
And if you're a woman, then you
he
just kind of
literally molested a dog.
yeah, he jacks him off and gives him fig Newtons. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he would do this to a dog. Like that's just how he is. And sometimes you get sucked up in his fucking bullshit hurricane, and he don't mean bad. But again, this is very apologetic. But anyways, I told him all this, and he goes, "Oh, word, she said that," and I was like, "Yeah, what happened?" He goes, "Oh, we were working on this thing, and goddamn, every day I just kept trying to get her to go to the fucking dildo store with me and pick one out. What the fuck?" And I was like, "That's what the fuck, Wade. You can't do that shit." And he's just like, "Oh, goddamn, PC, pussies, blah, 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 blah." As if during the 70s, everybody was just walking around just like, "Hey, y'all want to go to the dildo store?" But yeah, that's just how that dude
That was
rolls.
a classic example of our Q&As, you know what I mean? Because like she said that, we're like, "Oh yeah, Wade,
Yeah,
we
this'll
know
be
Wade."
good.
And then she says that, and everybody in the room's just like, and we're like, "Oh well, listen, Wade is, you know,
He's a friend
you
of a
know,
friend,
you know how
really.
Wade is."
We know him on Mama's
Corey
side of
must
the
have
family.
really fucked my grandma.
Yeah. Can we get some Indians in here?
Yeah.
we,
That's what I say. Sorry, we're not Native Americans who don't molest people, but what are you gonna do?
yeah, that always cracked me up that, like, again, like, the owner of a club booked an act. Like,
Yeah.
straight up booked the act and was just like, "Yeah, but that's as much as I'm going to look into anything at all."
He never saw a photo. That's the thing. I mean, there
Well,
had to be a
now,
photo.
look at Trey.
now,
is-
granted, we do look like several people who claim to be
Who claim to be-
1/16th Cherokee.
You know what I mean? You're from the South. You know
Okay.
fucking all these white people.
Yeah,
I guess, like,
Everybody.
street joke.
everybody's Creek or Cherokee.
And by
or
street
something.
Joke. What do you call 16 white people in a room together?
I don't know.
A full-blooded Cherokee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But,
because
like-
you know it's a thing.
It is a
So,
thing.
like,
But it's always interesting because, like, you never hear any redneck claim to be part Native American until the Cleveland Indians are about to change their team name, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm fucking part Native American." I'm like, "Wait, why haven't you ever brought this up before? Like, you never said this." Like, when we was watching, Dances with Wolves, you didn't say shit. No one was ever like, "That's my people." But as soon as you're like, "I know this is just kind of offensive," like, "Well, I'm not offended by this, and I'm a goddamn Indian." It's like, I don't think that you are, because you'd probably use a different phrase. Also, like, you watch a lot of John Wayne movies. Like, who are you rooting for? Like, that's a very weird. Like, you can't be both of those things. You know what I'm saying?
I'd like to
pick a side, you simple motherfucker.
I'd like to shout out Aunt Donna real quick, who had all the Indian figurines. Been claiming that since '62. She has Betty Boop tattoos, tribal tattoos. She dead now from a stroke, but she used to sell pills out of the trailer.
A stroke of genius.
Exactly. She used to sell pills out of her trailer. She's been claiming to be Cherokee since the '70s, bro.
Oh, dude, talk to my dad about this shit. He will like
Soggy Chinook.
Soggy, yeah. Dude, my fucking dad. Yeah, for those of you that don't know,
That's an Indian.
Yeah, I've brought this shit up to my dad, and my dad will be like, "No, God damn it, I am part Cherokee." And my mom at one point had more Cherokee in her than anybody on that actual goddamn tribe. Soggy Chinook used to call her goddamn house every night drunk.
Grandma was an Indian whore.
Yeah.
You hear that?
This the same grandma that
my
fucked
mama
Wade?
had in me.
Yeah.
She had more Indian in her.
But again, Dad only ever brings it up when we're just like, "I don't think you're Indian." You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I would be saying that more often.
Have you done one of those little DNA ancestry gimmicks?
Yes.
I have. Have you done it?
Well, you got to get your dad to do one.
No, I
Dude.
did like.
My wife's family was like that, and they did it, and they are actually Middle Eastern, and they're also a little racist,
that
so it
didn't hit
was
for them, right?
hilarious.
Yeah.
That was a hard day.
Yeah, it was a hard day.
It just doesn't make sense, because like if I found out I was enough black to say that shit, you know what I mean? Like,
N-word city,
I'm
baby.
saying,
Time to
like,
rap.
yeah, whole new half hour, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I be shopping too. Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't.
You think looking like you, if you just had it, you just carry it with you?
I would have to.
Like,
yeah.
no, do you have an N-word pass? Yeah, I got it from Ancestry.com. It's
Well,
right here.
I
we
can
don't
wear-
have to do the test. I've seen him naked. He ain't.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying though, like, if you was like, clearly you're not proud of it. If it only gets brought up whenever you're trying to defend some fucking shitty team changing their goddamn logo,
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why wouldn't you be bragging about it at other times? Why wouldn't you be talking about, like, we
Yeah.
made y'all's alphabet?
First of all,
it's
you
not
wouldn't
like-
come to Thanksgiving. I mean,
Right.
that's number one.
Yeah, for sure,
You've been at every Thanksgiving.
for
so.
sure.
Well, and it's not like you could say, well, they don't want to be associated with people who lost the war because they love the fucking Confederacy
Love
too.
it.
So
Love it. No, none of that shit has ever made sense to me. Like, again, I'm sure that some of them, like, that has to be true for some people, because, like, we are in a place where there was Native Americans, and of course they fucked somebody's mamaw.
dude,
You know what I
think
mean?
it was Dances with Wolves. Dances with
fucked
Wolves,
somebody's
like
mamaw.
Yeah, of course they did.
yeah,
did.
there was a lot of rape.
Yeah.
Dances with Wolves kind of changed the narrative on, oh, it's cool to be Native American. And I think
Yeah.
that this.
But he
rednecks were
weren't,
like,
though.
all right.
I
No,
mean-
but it was the first movie that kind of empathized with the Native side.
I was gonna go with Indian in the cupboard.
I was gonna. Is that true? Like, I just always felt like that was just it was so funny, because it's like, if you bring up not saying Redskins or whatever to these papaws and stuff, they'll
Yeah.
be like, "They're fucking bullshit back in my day." But I always remember, like, people loved being part Indian.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people collected
Yeah.
Indian money and all that shit,
Yeah,
and,
Donna.
and arrowhead,
Dream catchers and feathers in
arrowheads,
the hair.
all that
and-
shit.
Yeah.
People love that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No,
Did
the
you-
thing I made up, no, it ain't real at all. That's what your question was like. 'Cause and I don't really think it was
Oh,
a
okay.
Dances with Wolves.
I already
Well,
forgot
can we
what I
agree
asked
that
you.
the Washington football team is a weak ass fucking name though?
For
I
sure.
think it's funny. I
It's-
was
it
actually
is-
about to ask you.
It is
about,
funny, and I agree with you that, like, that's a weak ass name, but, like,
It's a soccer
still
thing.
it shouldn't be the Redskins.
It's a soccer thing, right?
It feels like Michael Scott named it.
What do you
Right.
think?
You know what I
I was
mean?
about to ask you what you think about, like, all the Guardians and the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians, and that whole thing. Because, like, with the football team, I'm not a fan of any NFC East team.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
fuck 'em all.
changes it, but to me, I think it's funny. It's funny to me.
They were just
it
like,
is-
we
it
couldn't
is
come up with
comedy,
anything.
but-
So for me, as somebody has no investment in that or that division at all or whatever, I hope they leave it that way because
Right.
I continue to find it humorous.
Of course.
Yeah, it is funny.
But I'm not
yeah.
saying it's a great name. But then today, literally today, the Cleveland Indians changed their name to the Cleveland Guardians because there's a bridge in Cleveland that leads straight to the stadium, and it has statues on it of these.
Where all the Browns fans jump off every
and
Bridge of Tears.
has statues on it of these big, like, old Roman warrior-looking guys, and those guys are called the Guardians, so
Yeah.
they're now the Cleveland Guardians. And I'm just wondering, Conrad, how you feel about all that? That hit for you?
Well, I mean, here's my thing. Like, if something offends anybody, why do we have to have it? But
Right.
It's a team name. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Who cares? That's
Yeah.
not why you're the fan of that team. And if it is, that's weak.
At the same time, though, I mean, I do feel bad for, like, Jerry Lawler, who we know has literally every piece of Indian material there is. He
Sure.
has every jersey and every hat.
Isn't it
I'm
worth
not
more
gonna
now?
vilify him
But he
for
still gets to
wearing this
have it.
shit. Yeah, yeah.
Ain't it
That's
worth
what I'm
more,
saying.
too?
If you wear it next season, don't fuck with that guy. Like,
Right.
he's been a fan his whole life, and he spent $40 on that shit. Let him rock it or
Right.
whatever.
Right. No, I understand that, and that's like, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna act like if someone didn't gift me a full bird Confederate uniform that I wouldn't like kind of want to hang it up in
You'd
my
have wore
house.
it on stage tonight.
You're
tell the
goddamn right,
truth.
I would
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
But like shit like that can be cool, especially now. It's like, hey, they don't do this anymore, so this is kind of like vintage. As long as you're not like, I don't know, celebrating it, like it'd be. I don't know.
Let me give you an example. When they painted over the General Lee, that was some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, that was a fucking TV show we grew up on. But at the same time, I was a little redneck kid who grew up watching the show, and I didn't think anybody was offended by it, and so I didn't fucking know better.
Of
But
course, right.
If I had that
Right.
movie car, I ain't fucking painting the roof. This is what it was back then.
Of course, but at the same time, like if you watch that show and if you were a fan of that show and you want to act like the reason that you were a fan of that show was solely because
Oh, that's
of
bullshit.
that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
that's bullshit. And if you're I'm an Indians fan and in name only. Like I was telling these guys earlier, like if they decided to change the Titans name tomorrow,
Yeah.
it wouldn't hit for me mainly because it would be there's no reason. Like it's not like Titans have been like,
Tell that to the Oilers. But, yeah.
okay, there you go. Everybody
Yeah.
was like, whatever, they're going to Nashville, they're changing shit.
Yeah.
If the Titans change their name tomorrow, it wouldn't hit for me because I'd be like, I know them as the Titans, but I'd be over it in a day, and then I'd be like, go fucking whatever. Like that,
Okay.
I'm not in it for the goddamn name.
You've been to
Right.
my little basement or whatever. I've got a collection of football helmets down there, and one of them is a Super Bowl helmet from the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
So when all that happened, one of my woke friends said, "Hey, we're gonna do with that helmet." I'm like,
Keep it.
"Dust
Keep
it every
it.
week or so."
It's
I
the
mean,
same as it was when that
yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that
Well, it's like, dude,
that
that's
doesn't
like-
mean shit to
That's
me.
like
That's
having
fine.
like some like
An OJ jersey.
or
Fucking keep
like
it.
fucking Nazi memorabilia or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? It's like you're not like. Well, I mean that's
I-
a bit
I
of a, that's
would
a bit
not have-
extreme.
I
That's
was
a bit
gonna
extreme.
say, that's a
well, no,
little
but so
far.
like I've said this story on I think on here before. Like I have a handgun that I inherited from my papaw. And he was like, "This is a World War II handgun. It was a German thing or whatever." And I'm not into guns, but I have this gun. And I told my buddy who is into guns about it. And he was like, "Holy shit!" And he comes over and looks at it, and he pulls the clip out, not loaded, but just the empty clip, the empty magazine or whatever. And he was like, "Look at this," and it's got there's a fucking swastika in
Holy
there that
shit.
I hadn't seen, and like. I saw that and I was like, God damn, but dude, I'm not gonna like.
If the
That's
I
fucking-
think the difference is that you're not giving the Nazis any money by having it.
Well,
you know what I mean? But
Right.
like if you go buy new Cleveland Indian shit just to be like, fuck y'all, like, you know, when everybody's like, oh, Chick-fil-A's donating a bunch of money to anti-gay shit, let's all line up and buy chicken sandwiches. But if you bought one right before you heard that shit, you don't have to throw the sandwich out the goddamn window. You already fucking, like all them motherfuckers burning their Nike socks, you already fucking spent the money on it. Like, keep it. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
The difference is intent to me.
Yes,
right. And so,
absolutely.
And so, like, you know, if me and you were, well, you get what I'm saying. I just think intent is the whole deal. Me and you talk to each other like assholes.
Of course.
So
Right.
you answer the phone and I'll say, hey, what's up, cocksucker?
Right.
But if we're in the lobby and somebody says, hey, you cocksucker, we're like, what the fuck did
Yeah,
you
hey,
say?
bro.
Yes.
What are you
But we
doing?
laugh because we know
course.
the intent. So,
Of course.
Yeah.
Context and intent.
Yeah.
Is everything.
The things that, especially, I'm sure you too, especially being a fucking wrestling podcaster,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the exact same thing
Sure.
as comedians. the shit that comedians say to each other
Yes.
is
Vile.
Vile.
The worst.
But that's the context of our relationship, and
Right.
we're all on the same
Yes.
page.
And we didn't want it to
all
get
know-
out there.
We all know that this is cool to
Yeah.
say.
Right.
It's unspoken.
Because we know each other,
Understood.
and it's fine. We understand that. But if other people heard it,
Yeah.
they would be like, holy fucking shit.
And it was never meant to be heard by anybody else.
Right.
So, like, but you're not sitting there walking around with your fucking swastika gun. You know what I mean? It's just a thing that you have at your house that you're like, hey, this is a part of history. This is fine. You know, there's a huge difference between if there's a, Confederate statue or whatever in the confines of a museum or a national park or whatever, instead of just putting one right in front of a fucking Ben and Jerry's just to fucking intimidate people.
Well,
like,
let me
that's
ask
the
you
intent.
this. Let me ask you this. What do y'all think about the Braves?
I don't know how to feel about that because I'll tell you this. Here's how I feel about the Braves. But let me also preface this by saying I'm a white motherfucker. So if somebody tells me you're dumb for saying this, I'll
Right.
be like, cool, I'm dumb for saying this. To me, the tomahawk chop, that's a bit much. And the Braves organization said, we don't want y'all doing that shit no more.
Which,
now,
what else can they do? That's all they can do is say stop doing that.
And they can stop putting the actual, like the red face, blah, blah, blah. But the name Braves
Should be fine, shouldn't
and
it?
I think it is, but I think what happens is it gets wrapped up
Yep.
in all that shit. But like to me, because I wore a Braves hat in a video that I did, and I got maybe 2 or 3, but like we're talking out of like several hundred. It was nobody saying a goddamn word, so I was just like, what the fuck ever, who cares? But they were like, I'm gonna unfollow you because you support a racist team. And I was like, and I tried to have open dialogue with him, and I was like, hey, here's the thing, like, per my knowledge, and again, white man, like, explain this to me, and I swear to God, I'll go, I don't know shit. Per my knowledge, the thing that everybody had a problem was with the tomahawk chop. And the organization literally said, we no longer encourage people to do that. We're not playing that shit. If those assholes are still doing it, fuck them.
They can't do
anything about that. But the name Braves is not a slur.
No.
That's
Right.
not an epithet or anything. So, like,
Well, it's like-
but it's still wrapped up in it.
Well, it's
you know
like
what I
the
mean?
Ole Miss, the Rebels.
Yeah.
Like, to me, just the mascot, the name Rebels
Yeah.
should be fine.
Right.
They had Johnny Reb, the fuck,
Yeah.
whatever.
To rebel is
they got
Star Wars. They're not fucking canceling that shit.
They got rid of that guy. And to me, once they got rid of that
It's
guy,
fine.
I'm like, okay, you're good then.
Rebels is fine.
Because Rebel, like you said, it could be Star Wars. It could be
to rebel.
To rebel against whatever is fine. It, like, once you get rid of the explicit Confederate imagery
Yeah.
or whatever, just stick him with Rebels. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. But
in
again,
my
like,
opinion.
the name Braves, I don't think anyone's ever said it's the name Braves. It's when they put the red-faced dude on the front. It's when they do the, and like that. I like hearing it now. I'm like, oh, shit, yeah. Like,
But
that-
again, when we were kids,
oh,
and
fire.
David Justice was
Fire.
in the box.
Of
that
course.
was hitting.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of
was
course it
awesome.
was hitting.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we were kids and we were watching old Skinner shit and they had the fucking flag behind them,
It
that
was
shit was hitting.
badass.
But
Super
because we
badass,
were
yeah.
fucking, it was super bad, but we were young and we didn't know. And like, of course, none of us, go ahead.
But we have access to know
Now, of course.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
You're
like
right.
and-
We didn't then.
But I mean, like, we're talking about this. This is the issue with it. It is rad, like Spartans and fucking, Spartan shit hits. Like all that shit is rad. But then, like, when you do the Indian stuff, it's like, and here they are,
Right.
outside the stadium or
Right.
at the game. I wanted to like read up and make sure that this was accurate. So I just typed some stuff in and was looking at it, and it's true. A lot of Native Americans don't like the name Braves or
Okay.
the tomahawk chop because it like permeates the warrior myth or whatever.
Right.
A lot of other Native Americans are fine with the term Braves because they think it's positive, but hate the tomahawk chop because it's goofy and they, blah blah blah. And then a few other ones are like, whatever. It's not like explicitly racist like the fucking big-lipped weird Indian thing that the
Right.
Cleveland Indians had
Yeah.
for a long time. So it's like a complex thing. But going back to what Conrad said earlier, it's like, well, if anybody's offended, and they're there. I mean, that's what's weird. That's what's weird about Native American history museums. That's what it's like. Hey, look at all this shit we stole. Come on in. It's
Right.
like a fucking trophy case. The fact that they're not dead and that their culture still lives on, and we turn it into a caricature, is odd. Like at the very
is
least,
odd.
that's an odd thing. It's
Yeah.
got to be odd. And like the first thing that came up was a story about a guy who was a Native American, brought a bunch of kids to the game. They knew they were called the Braves. They were having a good time until the started.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
bit much.
And then and the kids. And that's the thing. If you're 9 and you know something's weird, and no one taught you that.
Right.
Like PC culture didn't teach you that's weird.
Right.
You just were like, oh fuck, they're making fun of my uncle or whatever.
Right.
That's fucked up. Like that's fucked up.
Dude, for sure, man. And again, like, I sincerely mean this. I've been a fan of the Braves my entire life. They've been the Braves my entire life. If they fucking said, hey, we're going to change our name to the
Atlanta baseball team.
I don't give a fuck. That doesn't make me not like make me
But-
support the
Terry
team.
Pendleton's still the man.
Yeah,
But the
like,
thing
of
is,
course,
like,
who gives a shit? It
you
was
could-
never.
you-
I love
but-
the name the Braves. That's why I love David Justice because
Right.
it was the Braves. I
You
don't give
for
a
sure-
fuck.
You could call them the Braves and get rid of the Indian imagery too.
But
Somebody
yes,
said just
you
that was my
can-
favorite thing on Reddit was somebody goes keep the name Redskins but just make the logo a potato.
A potato,
and then
yes,
you can just
but,
keep
but,
everything.
But the thing is about that,
My
like,
God.
but the thing is, you can
very
like,
Reddit thing.
you can the team itself, like Corey said, they like officially came out and said, hey, don't do that
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, right.
The thing that upset that kid,
Right.
But like these fucking drunk motherfuckers
That
at
honestly
the stadium,
arguably made it
they-
worse.
They keep,
Yes, it did.
Yeah, telling them not to
I
do
mean,
it.
And if you change the name, it would make it worse for a year or two.
I mean, and that's how
Yeah.
that's how that fucking group of people work. Like when Morgan Wallen, you know, and he's apologized, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and shit on Morgan Wallen, but when Morgan Wallen got caught on tape, you know, saying the N word or whatever, I remember having this conversation with my mom. She's like, "Oh yeah, that country singer, he just got caught saying the N word, so he's about to be canceled." And I go, "Mom, I don't know if you know the bass, but that motherfucker's about to have a hit record when he shouldn't have had a hit record." And she's like, "You really think so with this PC culture?" And I go, "All right, whatever."
And then he sold albums
Literally
out
the
the
next week,
ass.
they were like, "Morgan Wallen has the top fucking hit." And I told her, I said, "Mom, there's motherfuckers that are literally buying his record for spite.
Yeah.
They're literally going, I don't even know who this fucking guy is, but he said the N word, and everybody's mad that he said the N word, and I think you should be able to say the N word. Therefore, I'm going to buy his goddamn record."
That's why, on some level, a lot of this is dumb because it's a culture war kind of designed to get us at each other's throat. I mean, look, in my opinion is if Native Americans don't want you to do it, then change the fucking name.
Yep.
But whether we do or not, I guarantee you to a man that 90% of them, because they're human beings, would be like, hey, how about we get some reparations, get some of our fucking land back, and we don't
Right.
have to live in a goddamn desert,
Right.
and we can talk about health care, and we don't have to have a fucking casino to be able to afford to eat.
Or do it in quiet.
Yeah.
Just change the fucking name and don't tell nobody. Just the next year, just start selling jerseys that are
Yeah.
different. See what the fuck happens.
Or, I mean, you know, my idea about resources. But yeah,
I
I'm
was
just
being
like,
realistic.
But I'm just saying, like, what wouldn't that
Yeah,
affect more people's
of
fucking
course,
lives?
Of course. If the fucking Cleveland Indians were like, okay, hey, here's the deal. We're also going to allocate some of the jersey sales to
Not
this.
some, do it all.
Right.
Fucking let
What-
'em
what-
have it.
yeah, right.
It's your face.
Right. But again, that ain't ever going to happen. So,
Right.
Guardians, you know what I mean? And also, they're still going to fucking lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a shit?
Although
Do
they
you
were
all
good
think
now.
that type of thing will continue? Because I've heard like
that specific culture war or a
no,
culture
This
war?
this isn't about
Chiefs are next,
This
by the
isn't
way.
about Native Americans, but I'm saying like
They are.
For sure.
Will that continue? The Chiefs probably are next, but I'm talking. You know, our buddy fucking Smart Mark, our Mark Agee, our friend, fucking. But he was saying that some people, I guess, and I hadn't even heard this, are upset about the Tennessee Volunteers, who should just be abolished at this point. Not the basketball,
Agree.
not the
Agree.
basketball team, but the football team.
We're basketball school.
We're a basketball school now. Football team, what are they even doing? I don't even want to talk about that.
I
But
didn't know we had a football
the
team.
Tennessee Volunteers, like
murderers.
apparently the origin of that, the volunteered. Oh, they volunteered for a racist war. They volunteered for a war, like
Yeah.
the thing with the Alamo helping Texas
I
and
thought
shit.
y'all volunteered to get that ass whooped in Tuscaloosa.
We do every single day. You're
Yeah.
right. Or every single
Spread
year.
butt.
Let's take a break from the podcast real quick so that we can talk about the people that make our particular brand of lunacy even possible. The people that pay for this show. First up is Helix Mattresses. Helix Mattresses, you've heard Drew talk about these. And by the way, we've heard Drew talk about these not even on the freaking show. He won't shut up about them. He's like, I can finally sleep. I can finally wake up completely rested instead of waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go, God, why have you drawn back the curtains of my life? Please shut them. I smite thee. Doesn't do that anymore. because Drew gets tremendous sleep because Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why? Oh, why would you buy a mattress made for someone else? It doesn't make any sense. With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be perfect for the way that you sleep. Everybody's unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have soft, they have medium, they have firm mattresses. Mattresses are great for cooling you down if you sleep hot, and even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. Drew took the Helix quiz. He was matched up with a mattress that is perfect for him. It's specifically for him. These are custom mattresses. Nobody does this. He loves it. I'm telling you, he won't hush about it. He's no longer the angry rooster that just wakes up every morning screaming at the world. He sleeps. He sleeps. He sleeps so well on his Helix mattress. So if you're looking for a mattress, take the quiz. You order the mattress that you're matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door, and it's shipped for free. F-R-E-E. It's free. You don't ever need to go to a mattress store again. And who likes going to mattress stores? Nobody. Helix is awesome, but you don't need to take our word for it. Helix was awarded the number one best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ. Ever heard of them? And Wired Magazine. All you have to do is go to helixsleep.com/wellread. That is helixsleep.com/wellread. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they will match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights, by the way, risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it. I mean, you're going to love it, though. But all that, it's free. You try it risk-free. They'll bring it to you. They'll pick it back up. Why wouldn't you do this? It makes absolutely no sense not to do this. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattresses, all mattress orders, and you get 2 free pillows for our listeners. helixsleep.com/wellread. That is helixsleep.com/wellread for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Go to helixsleep.com/wellread for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. You know what else I really like, Corey? Tell me, Corey. I will, Corey. Lucy Nicotine. Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck. Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients, Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. Each and every flavor actually tastes great. It does. I love them. It's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed anywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, even in the gym, which, in my opinion, is the best part. As you guys know, I've told you a million times, but in case this is your first podcast you've been listening to, this is your boy, The Cho. This is Corey Ryan Forster here. Lucy helped me quit, that got me off the vapes. I'd used vape to quit smoking real cigarettes, and Lucy, I had no plan to quit doing the vapes. But our friends at Lucy sent us some gum, and I was like, hey, more nicotine, awesome. And I started using it, and the next thing I know, I'm not vaping anymore. And also, truth be told, I'm not using Lucy gum either because Lucy helped me get off all nicotine. So, yeah, I'd do it if I was you. It is 2021. Get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get some Lucy nicotine gum or lozenges. This is the real deal. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple, and you don't have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down. WellRED listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code RED to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co. Use promo code RED, R-E-D, at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer, warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical that Trey always likes to add, which hits. And it does hit. Lucy.co. Be sure to use that promo code RED. All right. Keeping this thing moving right along. Another company that I would love to tell you about that has made, especially the pandemic, super, super easy is our friends over at Freshly. Because, as you know, dinner time can be chaotic, but with Freshly, it's easy. Their chefs take care of your meals a few nights a week and take the pressure off of you. We're all trying to get in shape and eat right, and Freshly can help. Their delicious meals are designed by nutritionists and cooked by chefs, making it easier to eat better. Are you stressed? Huh? Yeah. Are you tired? Bet so. Just don't feel like cooking? Sometimes we don't. Food that's fast doesn't have to be fast food. Freshly offers quality meals without the hard work of prepping, cooking, and cleaning. All that shit. Freshly offers chef-made, nutrient-packed, delicious meals delivered fresh to your door. No cooking required. Grocery shopping and cooking, they can be a pain, of course, especially right now. Things are insane. And with Freshly, you don't have to do none of that crap. Your meals arrive cooked and fresh every week, so you can keep your fridge stocked and skip the trip to the store. Ordering is easy. All you got to do, listen to me very carefully, go to freshly.com and choose from over 30 delicious, satisfying, better-for-you meals like steak peppercorn, sausage baked penne. Ooh, I'm getting hungry just saying it. Or their chicken pesto bowl. Freshly can fit your lifestyle with a variety of plans and meals to pick from that work for your dietary needs, preferences, tastes, and family size. And now our listeners can try Freshly for just $6.16 per meal. That's got to be wrong. Is that right? Yes, it's right. $6.16 per meal. My goodness. Stop searching the internet for healthy food near me every night and start living life Freshly. Your meals are always delivered fresh, never frozen, and are ready to heat and enjoy in just 3 minutes. There's a joke there, but I'm not going to make it. With new meals added each week, Freshly brings the convenience of chef-made, nutritionist-designed classics right to your kitchen. And right now, guys, Freshly is offering our listeners $40 off your first 2 orders when you go to freshly.com/wellred. Stop stressing about dinner. Quit it. Go to freshly.com/wellred, WELLRED, for $40 off your first 2 orders. That's freshly.com/wellred for $40 off your first 2 orders. We thank Freshly for sponsoring the podcast. We thank Helix Mattress for sponsoring the podcast, and we thank Lucy, as always, for sponsoring the podcast. And speaking of podcasts, can I say it one more time? Yeah. Let's get back to the podcast. Skew.
Look, listen, I'm not going to deny it, but I'm saying it's like
I hadn't heard that.
It's like, so if I'm saying growing up in Tennessee, you're taught this is a state where we volunteer, we step up.
Yeah.
That's what we are taught.
To
as
kill
no, I know.
Mexicans.
No, but so that's my point, is like, I feel like what we're taught is like, that's what we do in the state. We step up, we answer the call. That's what volunteer means. And some people are saying it's like, yeah, the origin of it was people volunteering to help Texas to fight a war against Mexico,
but
so
the
they could
Spanish though, right?
So they could keep having slaves.
Oh.
So it's like that's the origin of it, which means that's fucked up. But my whole thing has been like, but that's
word
not the
doesn't
only
mean that.
That's not the only
Yeah.
meaning of that word. And I could tell you, as a kid who grew,
You want to get into what the
as a-
Patriots did?
as a kid who
Well, that's
grew
what I was about to
up
bring
in
up.
Tennessee, you're not. That's not what the word means anymore. Like,
Yeah.
that might be the origin of it, but that's not what it means anymore.
Right.
And so it's like, I don't know.
Corey,
Like,
did
do you
you
think
meet-
that it could go down that line?
It
of-
will.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and see, I'm saying I think there has to be a line that's drawn
well,
somewhere.
and there
Corey,
will, but
did you
that's
meet-
way
And
down
that
the
line should be volunteers.
Did you meet Phil? Did you meet? He went by Phil from Chico on stage in New York. Phil, he worked at the Creek in the Cave.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
he had a great bit when that first was being brought up, where he was like, "Okay, instead of changing the Redskins and the Indians, why don't we change the Vikings and the Cowboys?
Because they
and the
raped and
Patriots,
murdered everybody.
All the people
yeah,
who
but
murdered
they were at
the
least
Indians.
they're white at least,
But isn't that kind of
No,
celebrating murder?
No,
But,
dude,
you
I
know?
agree with you in the
Like
sense
you
of
said, the Spartans earlier.
I'll
The
bring
Spartans fucking murdered
But
their
they're
own
dead.
babies and
Right.
threw
I'll
them off
bring
the
it-
fucking
Well,
cliff.
I'll bring it out a little
Metal.
bit further to get kind of more personal to us is when I see people when we're promoting shows and I'm like, hey, we're going to be in Birmingham. Hey, we're going to be in Atlanta. And people were like, really? Y'all are doing shows in Georgia right now? Really? You're doing shows in Alabama
That's
right now?
fucking stupid.
It is fucking stupid, but let's pull it back a little bit and kind of go with what you're just saying about the Vikings and shit. They're like, I can't believe that y'all would support. Do you know what Georgia did to blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, okay, they're both in America. America's done all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what fucking point do we have to just like not do shows in America?
But that's
because America is the fuck. That's a state in America. Georgia is no more fucked up than the fucking sum of the parts or whatever the fuck. Is all I'm saying.
But I think you, because you're like a sweetheart, you react to some of that stuff in a way where you like are giving people the benefit of the doubt. And also, like, I think you have this chip on your shoulder / whatever about, like, you know, oh, I didn't look, man. Those people are fucking dumb. Tell them they're fucking. Because here's why. If a Native American guy is saying, I brought kids to this baseball game and that shit, I made them sad, that's a legit issue where you have to explain to your kid, I'm sorry they made a mockery of your culture and it's already weird to be you in this fucking country. Whereas, this is some fucking person from Connecticut going, why are you enjoying? Fuck that person.
No, I know.
They're stupid.
For the record, like, please don't think that I'm comparing the plights of any of that shit. I'm not at all.
But I'm saying we have to...
But it's not just some person in Connecticut. That's a lot of people.
Right, but we have to be able to contextualize this shit. Otherwise, all we're going to do is end up fighting in culture wars over and over again while the fucking rich get richer and make money off us fighting with each other. We have to be able to contextualize shit. Sometimes shit is legitimate, and we have to talk about it and work it out and think about it, and sometimes you just don't. You just don't have to listen to fucking dumb people, man.
Yeah,
that's
true.
You know what I learned today? I learned that wrestling podcasts have more comedy in them than comedy podcasts.
That's hilarious.
Jesus Christ, this is sobering.
That is.
That's sobering would be a good name for our podcast.
Remember that time Wade Cardwell jacked off a dog?
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. We actually are going to take a break here real quick. We'll be right back after this.
Who's that? Matt Mitchell?
Fuck yeah.
He is indeed.
Indeed.
Speaking of a stunning man, there he is, DJ
Lewis, everybody, on the WellRED podcast.
Oh, we already on? All right, let me take it back right fast. Now, I'm going to tell y'all about goddamn my papa, man. He said that he was fucking a Cherokee. And he used to bitch about it all the goddamn time because he couldn't grow a fucking beard.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's why it on him all the day.
I think it is their fault.
That's why
it is their fault.
That's a huge reason my dad claims that he is. He's like, why? Can you explain why I can't grow a beard?
Yeah, man. That's fucking weird. But I never heard anything else about it.
Because they don't grow beards, do they? Grow corn all day, but not beards.
Never once. You can just grow fucking corn, though.
They grow anything in the world except for beards.
Yeah, man. Ain't that wild?
That is wild.
But is that what, like, evolutionary speaking?
Buddy, you know I have no idea, but that is a
no. It is.
That is
but
a
like,
thing.
I would say, like, with the evolutionary speaking, like people that live outside in the heat all the time, like it just didn't. That's not a thing.
I don't know about that, man.
Black people grow beards.
Yeah,
black people.
Yeah,
dude, Middle Eastern motherfuckers, as
good
Conrad just said.
Yeah,
Saudis grow beards all goddamn
Asians
day.
Not really, except for like they chill with the Fu Mans in
They do chill with the Fu Mans.
Yeah, the funny ones.
Yeah. I've never seen like.
I don't think it's outside in the heat type thing.
Nah.
Well, I don't know. I'm just fucking spitballing shit here. I'm just literally.
What about a bald Indian?
I've always heard
Like no hair on top.
Yeah.
Put a fucking beard on the Brave guy on them jerseys, and
Yeah.
we're good to go.
There you go.
We're good now.
Yeah, so he's yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we're the Atlanta Danny Trejos. This is awesome.
That'd be a way radder name, honestly.
What all would your papaw get into on his bitching about his Indian
I don't
hair?
know, man. But if you're just gonna fucking start naming your goddamn team shit, I mean, my papa.
Yeah. I mean, you sort of opened up that.
Oh yeah, no, I was just he bitched about goddamn not growing a beard, and that was the only thing I ever heard about any type of Native American, any type of thing like that.
What else did your papaw bitch about?
Yeah.
Fucking snakes. And then you goddamn go out in the yard. Now you can tell a goddamn poisonous snake by the shape of it. Papa, you see the fucking shape of his head? You too damn close. We're getting the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You remember that?
You mean?
You remember that cousin Ricky bit when he was talking about he was hanging out with Steve Irwin. And he was just like, oh, no, that snake, that won't hurt you. And he's like, I ain't got fucking time to be a zoologist, Steve.
Yeah.
Hell, I've stepped on an old garden hose and about killed my fucking self running off a cliff. Any snake has to die. And I agree with that.
Yeah, man.
Like I put up some fucking videos before of like I'll be in the park and I'll see a snake and I'll be like, I'll just put the video up and I'll be like, oh goddamn, I ain't coming here no more. And they're like, that's a fine snake, it's okay.
Yeah, man. We got them bad in the park. People fucking love them black snakes, and I reckon you do need them, because, dude, if we didn't have them motherfuckers, imagine the size of rats we'd have in fucking Chickamauga Battlefield.
Oh no, I hear you. I'm not just gonna go out on.
Yeah, but we could just kill the rats too.
Yeah, for sure.
We could just kill all of them.
It's hard to kill a rat.
Yeah,
Just
baby,
get some
man.
more cats.
We've been
baby.
trying to
That's
kill
all you
rats
gotta
for
do. Just-
centuries.
Then we got we already got so many goddamn cats in
No,
fucking
keep
Chickamauga, man.
making
It's
cats
unreal.
fuck and kill the rats and the snakes, and it'll all be fine.
It won't happen. It
I'm
won't
running for
happen.
mayor of Chickamauga.
Man,
I mean,
wait.
if I'm,
That's my
You
platform.
ever got in a fight with a rodeo clown? Because if not, you ain't gonna win, dude.
I mean, if somebody came up to me and said, "What would you like more of, fucking rats or snakes?" I'd be like, "Rats." That's fine.
I'd
Like,
say,
well,
listen, what we can do about the goddamn chicken situation first, before we even go down the fucking rat and cat fucking rabbit
I
hole.
love.
Lot
We're
of
all
chicken
running
problem?
for mayor of Chickamauga right now, and
Yeah.
this
What's
is
the
our.
chicken problem,
That's what
DJ?
we're arguing about,
You
DJ.
ain't
Let's hear your platform. I have in your
I've
yard.
noticed that there's
some
plenty
bitch
of-
came over and went chicken fishing. Tell them that story.
it's never seemed like a problem. I guess is my point.
Shit.
Y'all got a
That's a
chicken
fucking
problem?
Yeah, man.
What's
we
the
got a
chicken
fucking
problem?
Issue. The fucking issue is that they started fucking fighting chickens, and everybody fight, which is fine. That's fine.
That sounds like a human problem.
Well, except for they keep breeding them and shit, and
Right.
and then they don't have the space there, and then they just keep fucking, and then they get out in the yard, and now we have a fucking massive amount of just feral chickens which run amok.
And
they
you're saying
wild,
this started?
son.
This started with people who were fighting chickens,
Yeah,
like in a
in their
ring,
yards and stuff,
cockfighting.
cockfighting.
Not like these people were fist fighting.
They were
chickens.
doing that, too.
They were.
You got to get them in the pen somehow, and that motherfucker fucking wide open,
DJ.
24/7.
Tell them about that old boy that came over and became chicken fishing.
Yeah, so this motherfucker just pulls up at the house one day. So we got them everywhere, man. This motherfucker pulls up.
DJ and Dre was giving him psychedelic mushrooms to see what happened. So the chickens
chickens?
kept-
Yeah, so we had a bunch of old mushrooms.
Yeah, but
back
it's
there,
the
so we
chicken's
started-
You're
fault.
blaming everybody
Yeah,
else
yeah, I was about
For
to
the
say,
fucked
for
up
the
chicken.
chicken problem.
these goddamn
You're the
chickens
one-
that we put on mushrooms and fought.
Yeah,
these-
They fight by themselves. That's all them motherfuckers do is fight
Yeah.
and fuck. That's all they fucking
He was giving
do.
them mushrooms
Well,
to
yeah.
bring peace among the chicken people.
Yeah, I was like, y'all check this shit out.
I
Now,
love
look at these
thinking
colors.
about the chickens in the trailer park just going, we learned it from y'all.
Yeah, I'm out there with like two fucking LED lights spinning them around. Check this out. Fucking chicken just tripping out.
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
goat right there. Falcons catching drones out of the sky.
All they've seen is fighting and
Living the
fucking.
goddamn dream, baby.
All right, man comes over because you got them chickens in your yard.
Yes, indeed. So, are those your chickens? No, sir. Can I get them
What
chickens?
is this like the
Yes,
chicken
sir.
police? Who is this?
Yeah, we got that.
Yes, buddy. I mean, no,
The chicken
no,
sheriff.
No, man.
Yeah.
No, this is a free agent right here. This is just a motherfucker scoping out the area. You know what I'm saying? He noticed. In
He's
this
decided
area, there
some
was
chicken
quite-
work needs to be
Yeah,
done.
man. Yeah, he was rolling around. He's like, you know,
It's the
this
chicken
right here.
Pinkertons.
Yeah, he probably already marked out different fucking. I imagine that he had been going through blocks and was like, "Nah, I need to get into this." And don't think that this motherfucker did not have his shit together, because indeed he did. He pulls up into this fucking van, right? About 40 kids fucking roll out of them, dirty as fuck, start playing in the yard. We don't give a fuck. They stole our potato chips. It's fucking weird. So we fucking
They stole your potato
went
chips.
in the house, stole some cookies, ate some cookies, fucking
They
started
picked
talking
up
about,
some of Dre's art, which was like those baby dolls, you know? Like, Mama,
Yeah.
she killed a baby.
yeah, she killed a baby. Y'all kill babies? Yeah,
Dre-
like what? No.
Dre's line that was so funny was I started feeling bad because I realized 40 dirty ass poor kids rode out of this van, came in my house, started judging me like I'm the weirdo.
Yeah, man, and they was just going wild all in the yard. Meanwhile, the dude, he got a rooster, right? He's got this rooster. He's got a fucking rope tied around his leg. He goes out into the yard. He slings this fucking rooster out there, and all of a sudden, here comes another rooster. Comes up.
Oh yeah.
So he
chicken
starts
fishing.
Chicken
he
fishing,
starts
yeah.
fishing.
Chicken
He's
fishing.
fishing
Yeah,
them out
surf
of
and
goddamn
turf.
Trees. He fucking fishing them from underneath cars. This motherfucker's on top of it. Cleared my whole
Why are
fucking
they coming
neighborhood
at the? Why are they coming at the rooster? Because they're like, oh, you trying to talk shit, motherfucker? Like, I'm saying, you say he's got a rooster on a rope,
On a
and
string.
he throws the rooster out there
slings
in
the fucking
order
rooster.
to fish the other chickens.
Yeah, because
my
of-
favorite
because
Chet
Why
of-
do
Atkins
they
song.
come at the rooster?
Because they're territorial.
Are
Yeah,
they
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get
Yeah.
fucked, or are they trying to
They
whip
try-
his ass?
They trying to whoop
It's
his ass.
both?
Yeah, no, they trying to
Okay.
whoop his ass. Now he'll get to like the hens and shit because the rooster will chase the hens around, so the hens will come his way. You know, they'll definitely.
Yeah,
rust
Corey,
on
he's
his
out
way.
there. Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
cock of the walk,
But as
baby.
far as like the other roosters in the area, they trying to fucking fight.
Because he's gonna fuck all their bitches.
And again, what's this man's title? Like, what's he?
Chicken
Chicken
fisherman.
fisher.
Chicken fisher.
Chicken fisher.
Yeah, ambassador of chicken fishing.
Did he have a card or anything?
Dude, no, he ain't had. No, he ain't had no card. But then this motherfucker shows up the next day in the morning, and we were like, "No, sir, that's enough chickens for you. We don't even have any fucking chickens yet left." But it was wild, man.
Went to the chicken well too many times.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
didn't
man.
have no chickens left?
No, man, that motherfucker
Well, that sounds
cleaned
like
us out.
he's
Solved
doing
the problem.
He's doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Indeed,
that's the
I
point.
have never. I would fucking recommend him to anybody,
He's
except
like a
for the
snake.
fact that when the fucking chickens kill snakes too.
Yep.
Kill the fuck out of snakes, but.
That's the thing, though, is like we're like, okay, we got to have the chickens to kill the snakes. We got to have the snakes to kill the rats. We got to have the rats to fucking like. At
Then
what
you put out
point-
the rat poison. It makes the goddamn chickens fucking crazy as
Have
fuck.
you seen what we did
And
to
you-
bees? We can handle
Yeah.
this shit. You know what I mean?
What? Taking care of.
I'm just saying, like we
What
could.
we do
we,
to bees?
Yeah.
You not seen what's been happening
Ain't
with
no
bees?
bees are dying.
Oh,
Bees
they
are dying, dude. They
Yeah, I
got
know
fucking
that.
robot bees, just like off Richie Rich and shit like that.
Trey said, "What'd they do to bees?"
You didn't know this?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You didn't know this? And I'm gonna
That
speak.
bees are dying all over
Oh,
the place?
dude,
Yeah.
they're fucking literally like it's like a goddamn Black Mirror episode. Like
Yeah.
the government is trying to
Sure.
figure out how to make robotic bees that can pollinate flowers because there's not enough bees.
Why can't
And
we just pollinate flowers? Why do we need the bees?
That's what I'm
We should
saying.
just
Just
do
go
it
out there
with
and
our
just fucking.
dicks.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, man.
We should
Bait on a
pollinate
goddamn,
flowers.
bait on a goddamn
My
leather.
dad set a
flower's
hornet's nest
butt.
on fire
Yeah.
yesterday. Just torched it.
And see, that's another thing with
Kinda
like
ruled.
with like honeybees, you get it. Like okay, honey, they make the honey, and then with like but wasp.
What do
What's
they
that
do?
all about? You know
Well,
what
that's
I mean?
what I'm saying. Dad was like, "I'm gonna kill this hornet's nest. You gonna get mad at me?" I was like, "I
Fuck
don't know.
'em.
I don't give a fuck."
Man,
That's so
He's
funny.
asking his queer son. Yeah.
Hey, can I kill these hornets? You
My
fucking-
pussy ass boys here. I guess you gonna be upset if I kill
That's what he
these
does,
hornets?
dude. That's what he does. He does that. He does it to Andy worse. Andy, he'll be like, "We're gonna have meat. Is that okay?" And it's like,
Is that all right with you?
Good bit, Dad.
Fucking hippie.
Yeah.
I think the cow got stung. Does that help?
Yeah.
You gonna cry if I kill these hornets?
Yeah, that's
Queer.
pretty much it. That's pretty much it. He thinks it's as funny as you do.
Because it's fucking hilarious.
That's pretty good. My dad's funny, dude. Torched the shit out of them hornets, though.
Oh,
They was dropping out while they were on fire.
With what?
I think that's fine.
Lighter fluid,
Yeah.
starter fluid.
Man, man, you can't fuck with no wasps, but I'm sure that they fucking need to be around, man. All that shit need to be around.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess.
And we don't need more robots, that's for sure. That's a
No,
goddamn fucking
no.
fact.
Dude, did you see that? DJ, I want to get you started on robots now that we're here. Did you see the video that new Boston Dynamics where they've got those robots dancing like in sync to like all this shit?
Nightmare fuel.
And like that, but dude, they share it like, ain't this something great? As if none of us have seen any Black Mirror, as if none of us have been like watching iRobot. Like, do you feel like they genuinely think this will hit for people? Or it's one of them things where they're like, let's keep leaking this robot footage to keep the people scared of the robots.
Buddy, I'm 100% sure that it hits very hard for people. I think that I think that like there is a percentage of us who are out here like, I really honestly do feel it's like I'm really starting to believe like the majority of individuals out there are just like, yeah, man, fucking, this is cool. Send
Let the
fucking
robots
billionaires to
take over.
space and
But I feel like there's two different
Let-
types of people. There's like the people who are like have been for years going, the robots are going to take our jobs, right? And then
but they
there's
should take our jobs.
the ones that suck.
Yeah, you don't
Let
want
them
yours.
have our job. Dude,
Let
our
them
jobs,
have all the
our
fucking
jobs
jobs.
don't hit.
They don't
Like,
hit.
But
But then-
as long as we can like
not be dead.
My
Yeah.
point is though, is like there's
Yes,
the people
yes.
who are like the robots are going to take our jobs, fuck robots, and then there's the other sect of people who are like huge fans of Black Mirror and huge fans of like Reddit rabbit holes where they're like, dude, this is just them trying to get the cyborg overlords to fucking take us into some Doctor Who shit.
That's already happening.
So, Yeah, no,
we might as well stop working and fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean,
I kind of just believe that like Boston Dynamics and them are just like paid for by the government just to like continue to fucking scare us and shit.
Well, I don't think it's for that. I think at this point in time, with everything burning and flooding and everything else, you might as well watch some robots dance. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I
like
hear ya.
everything's on fire, we're all dying. Fucking make them fuck, make them dance.
Well,
like,
yeah,
I
but like
mean,
that's what they show you.
Yeah.
Like that's what they show you. It's not, but like when they
I
show
want to
you
see one
robots,
slap his wife.
when they show you robots dancing and fucking, it's not like they were sitting in the lab and that's what they've been working on. Like, hey, we're gonna make these robots. Like that's the shit they show us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the other shit, like I don't know
Oh,
how
they
to feel
been
about
murdering
that.
folks. I mean, goddamn.
I mean, a drone's a
Dude,
robot.
yeah.
My
man.
thing with them videos in them Boston Dynamics videos is there's always some dude who's showing off like the balance of the robot by like fucking slapping it with a broom
Yeah, yeah.
and shit. It's like, look how I can hold its balance. And I'm just like, the balls on
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
motherfucker.
exactly.
To sit there and
Wait
just
till the next
fuck with
generation.
the yeah, it's like you
Yeah.
just,
He's
you-
gonna remember.
you begging to get terminated, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the first one on the list.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's
This
gonna
is-
remember when he gets sentient. That's the first dude he's going to.
Like
Yeah,
I ain't trying to
you're
bully
right.
robots, dude.
I ain't even trying to teach them about violence. I'm like, hey, y'all need to learn how to hug and shit. Yeah, kiss them. You know, yeah.
I've
Would you
always-
kiss
They,
a robot?
they hire you to be the one that kisses the robots.
Yeah,
That guy comes in there and whips their ass with a broom, and then you come in and give him a hug. It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby.
DJ coming there after chain smoking. It's like the robot be like, "This is making me violent too, motherfucker."
Yeah, let me tell you some stories. They'll be smoking too by the time I get done.
Why can't this robot vote?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Like, I feel it's always been easy for me to be like, yeah, fuck it, let the robots do all the jobs, because I've always felt like, well, I've got one of them jobs that a robot can't do, because like every now and then, like there was something that came out a couple weeks ago that was like, hey, we let an AI system write a movie script, and here you can go see it. And it's like, yeah, they can't do it because like robots and shit don't understand nuance. So I'm like, I'm safe. Like a robot is never
Did
going
you
to be
see
able.
that Netflix special that the computer wrote?
That's what it was. I'm talking about.
It was funny, but it was funny.
It was
like,
funny
ironically.
because you knew what was
Yeah,
going
yeah,
into
yeah.
it. But if they
Well, let's
like
not forget, these things are learning. These
know it.
things are learning at a very, very
Trey,
fast
what was that thing?
I feel like it would release me from comedy. If I saw a robot could do it, I'd be like, "Oh, thank God, it is just a trick. Get me the fuck out of this."
right. Yeah. Can you just make the robot in my likeness and give me a
Well,
percentage
would
of what the robot
we'd have
does?
to like fucking grow with it, like a new art forms and shit would fucking sprout up. There'd be like this whole new fucking.
Yeah. We do a robot duet. You go on tour with a robot. That would rule.
No, we'd have to.
I would pay
goddamn fight the
$100
robots.
million
Or-
to watch you do a duet
Well,
comedy show with a
we-
robot.
Can't fight the robot.
No, we can't fight the robots.
No,
we
dude,
have
like
to
we-
teach the robots to love.
You have to. Yes. Yes.
That's the most fucking. I know that everybody listening to this on audio can't see just how fucking sincere DJ was when he said, "No, we gotta just teach the robots to love."
Like if we could teach them to kill, we could teach them.
Eat fruit and fuck, baby. I'm with you.
But it's funny because the people that are paying the money to build the robots, all they want is for them to kill.
I know.
You know what I mean? If you're getting in the robot game, they ain't nobody trying to give you money to make a fucking
Robot.
a hug bot.
Yeah, it's not even
They're
a
like,
fuck bot.
yeah, the people, the
right.
people are like, no, I need a kill bot. is
yeah,
what I need.
we got pillows.
I'll
queer.
give you $100 million. You can make a kill bot.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody paying for a hug bot,
For
dude.
just like a.
No.
I mean,
Ooh, that's a
you
good
know,
point.
Howard Stern
That's a
used
good
to have
point.
them like $10,000 sex
Sibians.
dolls on the. No, that's what the girls rode.
All
They
right.
had the like porn star looking sex dolls that these
Yeah.
weirdos would get delivered to their house for like 10 G's. If you could get a robot to fuck
Now-
you, that would be worth more money than killing.
I will.
man.
Okay, I'll go out on this. I'll say
Conrad
I'll be
with
the
the truth.
and I'll tell you right now. I think that would save a lot of marriages.
Yeah.
Like for real. And I'm not going to say who has had this conversation with me, but I've had this conversation before where it's like, yeah, where it's like, look, man, if you could spend $10,000 on an actual lifelike robot with a working warmed
Yeah,
warmed
vagina.
Like,
Warm.
like in the microwave?
warmed. No, it generates the heat from within.
Okay.
And
So that's just warm.
moistened.
Not warmed.
moistened.
Want it? You need it moistened.
Yeah.
It tries to love and take care of
If,
itself
and
down
you
there.
could and also one that like it folds up onto itself so you can put it in your carry-on or whatever. Like so many dudes that like travel for work that are like that would fucking help. Where you're just like take your fucking robot bitch with you.
Why would that be different than jacking off?
I want to believe
Because you're fucking a thing that has a warmed pussy.
I want to believe
that for
that.
me.
I want to believe that too. But my wife has gotten mad at me because I fucked somebody in her dream.
Yeah, I hear you.
That she had.
Yeah.
Like she's woke up like you cheated on me in my dreams.
Yep.
All right,
And it's like,
I think
damn, what the fuck? You don't think they're gonna get mad about you having a robot girlfriend?
Okay,
Fucking,
as long as the robot is like worse looking than them, like
What
take
if
it
it's-
inside. You know what I mean?
All right, you worked it out.
Yeah.
You
Like,
worked it out.
you
You
worked
worked
it
it
out.
out. You're right. Yeah,
Wait,
as long
let
as,
me
it's
yeah.
a fat bitch
Let me
robot.
let me
A
fuck
dragon!
Yeah.
A dragon!
Okay, a dragon.
A
Yeah.
fucking dragon!
A dragon with a
Like,
pussy,
Or some
yeah.
sort of like, you should be able to build your own
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
this. Fuck beast.
Go
Fuck
on-
beast!
Yeah, go on the road and fuck this fat, small-titted
Yes.
bitch, you piece of shit.
Well,
Like, I just saying, like, that would...
That's
like,
a pretty specific kink, right
I
there.
think DJ's. I love that he went straight to dragons.
Oh,
It's
he
like,
went
no,
right.
we'll just fuck dragons,
we'll
boys. It's like we'll just fuck dragons. That's what we'll do.
There's the only...
But we're all like,
But here's the-
yeah, we could fuck dragons.
Here's the
We'll
problem...
just fuck dragons. We'll fuck dragons. It'll be fine.
Here's the problem... Here's the problem with fucking dragons, though.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Wait.
What's going
Yeah, I'm
on
going
there?
over here. What is this now?
The name of this episode has to be "Here's the problem with fucking dragons."
Well, let me just lay this out to you. Like, because here's the deal: if you've got a similarly shaped, warmed, vaginaed robot bitch on the road with you, at least your woman knows when you're coming home, it's similar. You know what I'm saying? If you get used to just fucking dragons, she's got nowhere to go from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can't just become all dragony.
I don't know.
Amber,
I don't
you
know.
dressed up like a dragon.
I'm trying to bring the dragon
It's
in the bed.
it's hilarious
Yeah.
because your wife is in the room with us. I feel like I almost kind of feel like it's the opposite. It's like the dragon pussy is like different. You can't get that from her. If you
You're goddamn right you can't.
No, but that's my point.
You
Like
also-
if you had a fuck bot that looked exactly like your wife and was just a little more moist and tight or whatever.
Yeah,
It
and
was
had
a
a
little more
mute button.
little more warmed up with a mute button on it
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But if you're fucking a robot dragon or
Yeah.
whatever, she's like, yeah,
This
he likes-
robot bitch likes Doctor Who.
He
What
likes,
about that?
he likes
Well-
to fuck lizard pussy. I don't know fucking.
But I'm
like
saying-
it,
Put a
you
dick
know.
on that dragon too.
I guess
Bring
what-
it home
on its
with
tail.
you.
On its tail.
That's what I'm
Make
saying.
the tail
Let's
into
all
a dick.
fuck the dragon.
Yes.
Fucking it.
I'll fuck
Yes.
its mouth. You fuck its tail. Bring
For
your
sure.
uncle in here. He'll grab some part of
Absolutely.
it.
Fun for the whole family.
I'll come in a
dude.
dragon's
All
ear.
right, you getting
I don't give a
titties?
fuck.
You get one set of titties, or you getting like a whole? Or you getting
Yeah.
udders?
Well,
How
there's
you doing
udders.
this? Yeah, teeth.
Do dragons have udders?
Hell yeah, they do. Teeth. Teeth, big long.
It was funny because when you first brought up dragons, you're like, make them like a dragon. I was like,
And by the
dude,
way- by
we
the
don't
way-
want to fuck dragons. And immediately I was like, we would totally
By
fuck
the way,
dragons.
by the
Shit
way,
out of
we're
it.
skipping over the fact that like he had that ready to go.
did.
Like it
He
wasn't.
did.
It wasn't.
I
he
thought
didn't-
about
We
this.
didn't say let's take a robot bitch on the road, and DJ went. Let me figure out what he literally went. I've been saying fuck dragons.
I
Like he
told
had that
y'all.
shit ready to go.
I told y'all I asked him what he jacked off to, and it was the funniest episode of Into the Biscuit that we've ever done.
What do you jack off to?
Man,
Don't get weird now.
well, no, it's the fact that like, man, as like I started getting really into like the animated like CGI stuff they got.
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like I haven't actually like beat off to porn and forever, but like I have favorite like cartoon animations that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah,
on
yeah.
there. It's like
Yeah.
it's not hitsy, but they fucking they're fucking badass.
Is it
hold
animated
on.
porn?
Let me explain what's happening here. It is animated porn, but he's not jacking off to it. He goes to jack off
Yeah.
and gets so distracted by the artwork
Yeah.
and the stories of the animated porn.
Yeah.
And he just goes down a rabbit hole, and next thing you know, he's got a new favorite artist and forgot to jack off.
yeah, we're sitting there talking about animation. Oh yeah, that's like good, and that's what's happened to me in porno.
And when he's telling the story, he's like, dude, look at this one dude. He can do Marge Simpson's voice. It's unbelievable.
It's fucking wild, man.
He sounds just like her when she's getting fucked in her butt.
And they're doing wild shit. I mean, it helps that like demons are coming down and like fucking Homer Simpson.
Of course
and
it
stuff.
helps.
You know, they're all
Yeah.
that fucking right.
Of course that
like,
helps.
But it's just cool. It's cool to have that type of animation and like a lot of it and like
A lot of
stuff
artistry.
that they're doing with a lot of stuff they're doing with like CGI and stuff like that.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
fucking rad.
DJ, I'm curious since you've worked through this whole dragon fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, since they're learning, could we like teach them to make a sandwich too?
Man, yes, a dragon.
And they could
sandwich?
toast it.
I'm just saying, if there is a mute button and it's fucking and it makes sandwiches,
Of course.
I mean, I feel like we're rounding the bases.
Very much so.
They're not going to be for it if that's what you're getting at.
As soon as you start talking about SEC football, it fucking flies away. Like it would be very, very realistic.
You teach it to catch drones too. Like if there's like Amazon drones, like, like somebody's like ordered some.
Get you some
coffee.
packages.
Yeah, man.
I feel
You
like
haven't come until you've had a robot dragging shit on your chest.
That's Wes, everybody.
You know.
Yeah.
Wes, no, go on. I feel like you have more thoughts on it.
Stay tuned for part 2 next week, you some bitches. Skew.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.